Okay, yeah.
I'm up close.
That's fine.
I'm uptight.
No, that's fine.
Like life. I'm uptight.
What? How's the framing on that? Yeah, let's rock and roll. You ready to hit it?
You can do your best.
Welcome to the Soundguys Podcast. It is Banjo Bob here, hanging out, sponsored by Cargo Mate, Cargo Trailers, and Apparel. We have Neighborhood Nick. We're back here down at the bunker having a wonderful time. We absolutely need to do more of these, but unfortunately, Neighborhood Nick just can't seem to get his schedule together. He's been off.
We've been doing things.
He's been off planting his oats, wild seeds,
Mainly just going to school.
How's that? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Planting seeds, wild oats. How's that
I
going
don't think
for you,
that's
man?
what that means.
I thought that's what it meant.
I'm pretty confident that's not what that means.
Well, when I grew up, when you went to school, you're planting your oats.
Did you go to farm school? Did you go to farm school or?
I did.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe that makes more sense now.
Top story. There's a weather balloon flying over the United States.
It was a big weather balloon.
Huge weather balloon.
And it was high.
What's funny?
What's the normal height for weather balloons?
At least 70,000 feet.
Really?
I thought so.
Well, apparently this one was around 60,000 feet.
Oh, well,
But you know what the biggest controversy of this whole weather balloon fiasco is?
Tell me, Neighborhood Nick.
This balloon is not from America. Exactly. It's from China.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which leads me to believe it's not actually a weather balloon. I don't think it's civilian.
Well, with all that being said,
There was a balloon.
no, we talked about this. The balloon is flying over
A very specific part of Montana.
that we talked about in episode 4. We'll drop it in the link.
We'll
But
figure it out.
I'm not trying to say that the sound guys, we are, what's the word? We're not Nostradamus type.
We're not prophetic,
No.
but
We have,
we have got a few things right over
Surprising.
the time that we've been doing this podcast, which is pretty remarkable.
these cookies are very dry. Very, I hear your nose all the time. You're breathing so heavily in that microphone. Oh my God, Nick, please stop.
I can't help where my nose is.
Do you shave your nose hairs by any chance? Because I'm just curious. Like, there's a lot of whistling going on. Yeah, in your nose, like your nose, like I don't know. It's just it's very noisy. But anyways, that was our top story. That's all we have. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Sound Guys. Don't blow your microphone.
No, ladies and gentlemen, we actually do have a few real topics to talk about. There are other controversies going on in the world, but there has been an update with the balloon from China. It has been shot down.
What?
It did get shot down over the Atlantic Ocean. This balloon has traveled quite the distance. One of possibly 3 balloons.
So lame.
One in Latin America, one possibly in Canada, one over the United States, shot down by jets over the Atlantic Ocean. That's pretty far away from China. I wonder what photography they got over Montana. Right? Because here's the deal. And this is I'm putting on my conspiracy theory hat. Why a balloon?
Right?
Why a balloon? Because China has low altitude, low atmosphere satellites already flying all over the place that can take probably better pictures than a balloon camera. Mm-hmm. And furthermore, if you actually go through some of the old Cold War, Soviet, United States, CIA, KGB spy stuff, back in the 60s and 70s, they had some really high detailed resolution photos back then from balloons. Do you think the satellites, is this a ploy? Is it just kind of messing with America?
Oh, KGB all over your face, that's for sure. I mean, talking about, that's what's up. Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I believe personally this was not just any spy mission.
It was the Chinese looking at how American sound systems are being deployed because they want to join the concert tour industry just like the sound guys, and they want to make sure that they're building PAs to be just as efficient as American designed PAs. Meyer Sound, QSC, which is technically in the United States. I'm just saying, whatever. JBL, come on now, American EAW. Those are the brands that China wants to get their hands on.
And if you're on LinkedIn, I'm sure you've gotten some of those advertisements and sale offers to be part of the new Chinese tech revolution for equipment and products. I know my LinkedIn inbox you send them to me for some reason.
Well, yeah, you're the person that can handle that.
Yeah, so I get to deal with all sorts of people from Guangzhou, Shanghai,
You're very good at what you do.
that I really don't think are actually from Guangzhou or Shanghai.
You don't think so?
No, not really,
What makes you think that way?
because the names don't match the location area.
You are such the sleuth.
I try sometimes. But, ladies and gentlemen, we got some interesting topics to talk to you about, other controversies happening in the tech world.
I thought we were already talking about controversies.
Well, that was the big controversy, was the balloon. But, ladies and gentlemen, a long, long time ago,
In a galaxy far, far away?
well, maybe so nowadays, if you go back into our archive of episodes, you may remember a story about Club Penguin.
Oh, what are we talking about now? I remember this. This was Club Penguin was a big deal.
That was a big one.
Wasn't like kids like getting in like trouble with other big old nasty adults.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, the tech world has been hit by yet another scandal. This time, in the tech world, on the internet, AI generation.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, like Dolly and all those things. That's great. We actually ran through what was it? OpenAI? We did a whole bunch of like face reconstruction stuff with like photos. We'd send it. It was a lot of fun, and the computer would take the idea and take its best guess to recreate. It came up with nothing similar. The results were absolutely creepy. It was awesome.
And
I
that's
loved it.
computer-generated images. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know.
Just based on a string of text.
And then, of course, also there's ChatGPT, GPT, which has the academic world very concerned that it's going to eventually take away people's, theses, dissertations, have people be able to fake excellence and mastery of subjects and topics.
Well, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, as long as you're well spoken and can carry yourself in a public circle, then whatever, man.
It could be interesting to see.
Just do you.
But it also is going to increase plagiarism, which will be very fascinating to see. But, ladies and gentlemen, besides these weird controversies that are, a little more fringe-worthy, let's jump into a different fringe. And we know we like to keep this family PG-rated and whatnot, but this is a major controversy. Now we have
It's my microphone that's making that noise.
Oh, it's not my nose?
No. Your nose sucks.
Oh, dang it.
But no, my microphone is making a nice what if it's my laptop making a little thing here. Anyways, I'm sorry. Neighborhood Nick, where were you again?
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have, and I hate to say this, AI-generated pornography that is sweeping the world.
I love it.
And this is causing some major concerns to a lot of, shall we say, celebrities, streamers? That seems to be happening to streamers lately.
Okay, I've got some, let's take a look here real quick. AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her name is. That's great. So if we had AOC, and who is the other guy? Schiff. Yeah, that'd be great.
Shift?
Isn't Adam Schiff?
Adam Schiff?
Is that his name?
The Democrat congressman from
Yes.
California?
Oh my gosh, that would make a great movie. Like that stepdaughter daddy kind of movie.
Well, this just got concerning.
You don't think so?
No, not really.
Comment below. I think that would be phenomenal.
Maybe don't. No,
I think that
don't.
would be great.
Please tell Banjo Bob or whatever his name is today that
Here's the deal.
he's wrong.
I know what America likes, and America and America just needs to get out and be honest about these things because.
And I'm not sure that's what America wants nor needs.
Well, I'm not agreeing or denying with that statement. I'm just saying that our everyone's human tendencies and the people at large are pretty messed up. They're pretty messed up inside. They're pretty messed up outside. Look at their home lives. Look at the median home income. Look at the credit ratings. I mean, let's just look at your average Joe Schmo, go down a walk down any suburban area, white, black, brown, whatever you got. These people are nuts. They're struggling. They've got problems. They need solutions. And no one's giving them any tools or any insight onto how to grow and improve your life. So what are they giving them? Porn. That's great. And they're giving them porn. And porn isn't really doing anything except just passing the time until you die and they take the dirt nap. Is that what's called? The dirt nap. You're done. You're in the ground, 6 feet under, cremated up in the sky, whatever you're doing, you're out of here. And you only have 24 hours a day, right? So if you spend, 16 hours out of that day just watching Netflix and then you change over to the boob tube and you watch something else, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy type, let's just dumb people down. But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you push that on a society? Because that's the best thing that you can give them. Because you're not going to give them hope. You're not going to give them, education. You're not going to give them the ability to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and become someone awesome. No, you're going to give them porn. So with that being said, I firmly believe that AOC and the Adam Schiff movie would be absolutely exactly what this country needs because we deserve it as a people. Because look at us. All right, anyone watching and listening, you tell me I'm wrong because I swear I'm not. Because I guarantee it. Because just thinking about it, like look at the news, look at people today, look at your churches, we're a mess. We're an absolute mess. I love it.
Well, maybe
I love it.
we could use some social credit score system to get people in line.
I hope they would, but they wouldn't. Everybody's they're going to buy so many candy bars until they basically are confined to their homes and they're going to get so fat that they die on their couches and their skin will graft to said couch. Yeah, I've actually been there.
That's going to lower your social credit score.
I actually was an EMS and I did that. It was a lousy gig. I really thought for sure that for some reason, we're going to become paramedics and I was EMT first. I was going to be an EMTP. And you basically shadowed and you had your card and all that jazz and you worked. And we worked with a company called AMR, as American Medical Response or something. They're a mercenary ambulance service. Really fabulous business model if you think about it. Because
Wait, let me get that straight. You said mercenary?
yeah, trip on this. It's awesome. So AMR, okay, and I'm sure if you're listening to this and you've seen AMR, around wherever you're at, because they're kind of, I think, a national presence. AMR's business model is to basically camp out in high probability areas that an accident will take place. They basically squawk on the scanner. They just sit there and they just troll it, listening for accidents or problems to be reported. When something has been called out, AMR, boom, pushes, gets to the scene. If they're first on scene, now they're paid. They're the ambulance there. They're the response unit that's going to get paid for the accident. It's crazy. And the funny thing is when we shadowed with the actual local hospital where AMR would need to take the patients, when we shadowed with their LSUs, it was really ironic because we responded to more AMR accidents of them driving recklessly, trying to get to the accident first to get the money. And so, yeah. Anyway, so doing that with AMR, blah, blah, blah. Never got anywhere, unfortunately. Because you had to wait for someone to die, not in the field, but someone to die within the ranks, and it was a bummer. So with that being said, one of the things that would always happen on calls, there was this fat lady, 500 pounds, 450, lived in her apartment, and she had died, and the skin had actually grafted to the couch, and the rescue, they were like, we got to cut her out. They tried to cut the couch and we had to lift her out on the couch. It was disgusting. It was awesome. And the best part about it is a lot of times fire will leave once, EMS like, oh, you're here, great, bye. Like, no, hold on. Oh, we need some help lifting this person downstairs because it's always upstairs. Good times. But the world sucks, and I think really we're going to see a huge shift. no pun intended with Adam. We're a huge shift between upper and lower tier. I hate to say there will be no more middle class. There'll be no more middle. There should be the, and I think really, and I hate to say it, unless we're able to really address that, majority of people are not going to be having a problem with it. They're just going to be like, this is great. Netflix and porn, government handouts. I've got my beer. I've got my
Red Bull.
This wasn't even scripted. But yeah, my pale ale. Well, this is an upper brown. Like, Natty Ice is kind of where the other folks go. But Sierra Nevada still has a pretty. It's fairly expensive. And then of course the Sweet Baby Ray's. These morons never called us back. I gotta call this guy again because we need him on the show.
We do.
The sauce's boss. What crock of crap is that? Anyways, I'm sorry, neighborhood Nick. What were you even saying? Something about AI virtual porn stuff. That's good. It's great. It's good for the country.
I don't think so.
And we're gonna get a social credit score. You're saying?
We already do.
Oh well, yeah.
We already have a social credit score from whatever people purchase with their credit cards.
Right.
That's already kept track of things such as American Express.
I love that.
They keep track of all your kinds of purchases.
I made that mistake.
Yeah, don't go to McDonald's, ladies and gentlemen.
I used my Amex at a McDonald's.
And what happened?
They cut my limit.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
But we also see
when I made this choice in shirts for those that are watching, they saw me they didn't see this shirt coming. When I bought this, they're just like, I don't know what's Banjo Bob doing. I'm like, I'm buying fashion, man. Look at me, yeehaw! This is
very colorful, very bold,
snaps.
Very colorful.
This is with the snaps. This is my Western shirt with the snaps. Okay, I got with the snap. I've got the gold. I got the gold line trim. Okay, and I got my sponsorship right here from Cargo Mate. Best. You got the best, absolute best, darn near travel trailers, cargo trailers. Oh, you name it, man. Anyway, with the snaps, when it's time to, get busy, just rip that thing off, you don't mess your buttons up, so you can plug them back in for a nice night on the town. You know what I'm saying? And then you just kind of like, just listen to that. Just, oh my goodness, just listen to those snaps. That's quality right there. I'm gonna snap that puppy right back in there for y'all to listen to again. Just wait. Oh my goodness, hear that? It's so therapeutic, super therapeutic, and just kind of it's like popping a bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like popping a good zit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, goodness. Nothing's better. Okay, what are you saying, neighborhood Nick?
I don't think you need that Red Bull anytime soon.
We are the Sound Guys, your daily dose of background noise. We do apologize that we have not been able to be faithful and religious in the fact of getting a program out consistently because we suck when it comes to that aspect. But you good well know when we deliver content, we deliver content. And we deliver noise. That's the best part.
Background noise.
Here's the thing. How many of you single ladies and men out there right now are driving down the road and you're just like, you know what? I don't want to listen to my own thoughts. I don't want to listen to, they were saying that they're going for the world. It was the World Guinness Book of Records. They're trying to create the world's quietest room. Okay. And apparently the longest a person can stay inside that room is 4 hours. Because what happens is your ears start to acclimate to the noise of your body. You hear your breathing, you start to hear your heartbeat, you can hear like your neck turn and all your bones. All the things that your body makes is noise that you're just kind of like drowning out because of white noise in the rest of the world. And that drives a person apparently insane.
Oh, of course.
I would love it. I think I would quite frankly love the challenge, see if I can make it past 4 hours.
You wouldn't make it past 10 minutes.
I might.
No, I don't think so.
Why can't you talk to yourself?
It's just... No, because the room, it's supposed to be quiet.
Yeah, if it's just you in the room, talk to yourself.
And I think that's the point. They don't want you to. They just want it to be quiet.
Yeah, I might be able to pull that off. I don't know. But
I don't think you could.
You'd be surprised. I probably could, but maybe not.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
You're a very talkative person.
That I am. But the moral of the story is, for our program at large, I don't necessarily know if the only value that we offer to the listener is that you are listening to us now, driving down through mid-traffic or whatever it may be, and you need a friend. You need someone who's there that understands what you're going through. You need a friend who can actually just give you some information. That crazy, quirky friend that you sometimes take to the party, you sometimes not. The friend that like is the third person on your list you call when you're like, I want to go out with someone, but no, I don't know if I want to go out with the sound guys. But then you call the first one and they're too cool for you. You call the second one and she's kind of got a date going on and you're just like, well, she was really fun, but now all of a sudden she doesn't want to go out with us anymore. So that's a bummer. So I guess who are you going to call? You're going to call the sound guys. That's right. You're going to call us because yeah, we're third on the list, but you know what? We deliver. We deliver background noise. We deliver great things to listen to. And some of the things that we say, quite honestly, are going to give you some great insight. You're going to actually learn with us about really interesting things. The only bum part I will say that sucks about this show is that we don't talk as much about sound, but that's okay because we give sound advice. So screw all y'all, Kevin. And also, another thing that we need to do more of is that if we could get more prompt, because a lot of the great stuff we talk about is definitely like very Nostradamus-esque type. But you're breathing again in your microphone. But again, you know, we could work on more neutral topics because some of these groundbreaking things we talk about, they go to press 3 weeks later and it's old news. So
It's true.
So we're gonna try to get this episode out pretty quick because God knows it needs to be released today. We should probably do these live, maybe. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, do a little dingling bar, the bell. Isn't that dingling bar or whatever? Maybe.
Just hit the notification bell.
Whatever you
never
gotta
miss
do.
a future episode. But we're not at that part yet.
We're not.
We're not quite there yet.
So back to AOC and Adam Schiff in the.
Well, no, we got AI difficulties. All right. For one, there's a huge violation of privacy with this AI generated porn stuff. Mm-hmm. Much like we have copyright issues and plagiarism issues with ChatGPT, with scholarly work of whatnot. But we also have this issue with the AI generated porn that, you know, you just send in these pictures of people, you pay a fee, which only idiots pay for porn. I'm sorry. I think that's idiotic to do.
Well, I beg to differ.
There's no reason to pay for any pornography in the 21st century whatsoever.
If you have a specific kink,
then you need to see a therapist.
No.
Yes.
You're paying.
If you are restricting yourself to pay for porn because of a specific kink.
No, you're paying because you like a specific actor. You're supporting her or his work.
Oh, so you're talking like OnlyFans.
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm talking about like men and women both. I mean, you're supporting that person's work. You like their work. You like what they do, and you like because I think porn is different for folks. I mean,
it's a waste of money.
It's always a release or whatever. Yeah, so I was playing those freaking bowling apps, but my little guy, he wanted to freaking win this bowling ball, and I was like, well, darn, I ended up paying $50 to get these chips. And it was an in-app purchase. I've never done that before.
Oh,
and
no.
My little kid, I was like, you suck. You absolutely suck. Because like, give me in. It was $9, then it was another $9, then it was $10, and I finally it was a $50 bowling ball that I ended up buying on this stupid game because we play wholesome games. We don't play this nasty stuff. And it was a bowling, and I got a bowling ball. And then when we finally got it, he's kind of like, that's cool. Can we go back to the other ball, the free ball that comes with the game? Yeah. So, anyways, no. I think I'm not going to win you over on this one, and I'm not necessarily here to give you to win an argument. I'm just presenting a perspective. I think that folks coming from the arts community, I know, believe it or not, I love this shirt. Goodness, yeah.
Yeah, who's the artist between the two of us?
Cargo Mike. No, but really, when I was in theater, when I was working in that ilk, a lot of folks, they had a different view on life, and that's actually what makes things actually quite beautiful. Because if you see something differently, I think that and we've said this in the past, everyone has this problem now where we'll just go straight from 0 to 11. We can't have a conversation, blah, 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 okay? Especially on the political standpoint. But on what is art, what is beauty, what is kink, what is whatever, you have someone who can appreciate either the male or the female body. You have someone who can appreciate these elements. And what we would consider another person who would be considered less refined, I'm not trying to call it that way, but a less refined individual may only see it for what it is, and that's just, nudity, right? Mm-hmm. So You can argue it both ways. Where it's like, oh, well, that's more than just nudity. That's more than just intercourse. That's more than just this kink. So I want to pay this person for what they're doing because I want to support their work in what they're doing because the work that they're doing is kind of risque and it's kind of a big deal for you to get out there and do what you're doing and put it out there for everybody to see. Because goodness knows, I've said it a million times, I would be the male stripper for Denny's. I am no Chippendale. Would you like some extra chips, Chips Ahoy on your chocolate chip waffles? Goodness gracious, I am. Ooh, I am. Yeah, I need to lose weight. What I'm saying is I'm enormous, and it's okay. I'm happy with my body. You can look at Lizzo. I mean, she's really trying to be like I think she's taking it too far. I'm sorry. This is my opinion. Everyone's beautiful, but good Lord.
No, not everyone's beautiful. No.
Well, okay. Everyone has purpose, and if they choose to if they choose to go down the path of purpose, then awesome. If they choose to waste their purpose, then that's on them. But everybody starts with purpose. I will say that. Everybody starts with purpose. Everybody can screw it up. Just like that guy that killed all the kids at Idaho up there at the bloodbath.
The college killer guy?
Yeah, the college killer guy.
Okay.
He had purpose and he blew it. And we should chair him. I'm just saying.
I don't think the chair is available anymore.
It's a bummer, too, because that's another thing. I mean, and I'm probably very conservative leaning on this one. And everyone's going to really be upset with me on this. But there are certain crimes that when committed, I'm afraid we don't have a solution within our toolbox in mental health and, civil, to minimize recidivism and all that. I don't think we have the tools as a society to fix an individual that has done so much damage. So in that, really, why are tax dollars going to pay for that individual, especially at a young, it's so young. It just really depends. But I think there needs to be better code established because if we spend, for taxes for another 40 years for that person that will never be better, and or if that person is released will commit crimes again, I don't know. That system needs to be looked at, but that's not something that's on our show today. I'm absolutely full of life today. Absolutely full. I'm just so happy we're back online.
You're excited.
I am.
You are hyper.
Coffee, beer, and Red Bull. Where'd you put my Red Bull?
I took it away from you.
That's a shame. Okay, well, anyways, what were you saying? The system. I don't know what you said. No, you said something. I lost my train of thought.
Well, basically, ladies and gentlemen, going back before that wonderful tangent that we just somehow magically got all the way to death row. Magically. I don't quite know how we went from porn to death row, but we did. Magically.
No, that is the subject of this podcast.
Death row.
Death row and porn. You decide. Oh, man, and that's going to get a lot of religious bigots. They're like, yeah, this is the podcast for me. Oh, yeah. It's like that one TikToker is like, masturbation is a sin. I'm sorry. No, I know. It's witchcraft. It's a form of witchcraft. I'm sorry. What was it? Death row and porn. You decide. Kind of like when I just like the way my arms I feel really, for the folks watching, I just feel really good when I'm like, yeah. Like my arms can move so just freely in this red shirt. It's just I can totally dance. Oh man, there's nothing more freeing than a good quality shirt, especially with snaps.
It just pops off.
Ugh, snaps.
Don't take the shirt off. Just
snaps.
Don't pop the buttons. It's all good. It's all good.
Splendid. Okay, what were you saying?
Well, anyway, the controversy, ladies and gentlemen, with
what was
AI generated pornography.
Can you wrap this up?
I've been trying, but you just kept on going to different kinds of tangents, and we just gotta keep reciting back to the beginning. It's a privacy issue, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can officially just take pictures of random strangers, send it to a company, and they will generate pornography of that person without their consent, which #MeToo is going to be very upset with in the future. But we're not quite there yet, but we will be very, very soon, I expect.
Is that still happening?
#MeToo?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, good.
It still goes on.
I'm glad to hear that.
Still goes on. it's important that everyone is heard in this debate, in this debacle, as we try to make the world a better place. But yeah, I don't think AI-generated porn is going to make the world a better place whatsoever.
It might.
I don't think so whatsoever.
Well,
As you say, if we just give porn to the masses to keep them happy,
yeah, it just keeps them dumb.
exactly, we're not going to make the world a better place whatsoever.
No.
Which goes back to, well, going into a political tangent now, the World Economic Forum wants the world to eat bugs.
Yeah, that's. I think that's out of context. Play it back for me. What are you talking about?
So the World Economic Forum, their main aspect right now is not really actually helping out the world, ladies and gentlemen. Their main aspect now, the World Economic Forum, which is supposed to be focused on the world economy and making the world economy better for the world, is more worried about climate change. And so, because of this climate change issue, some scientists are like, oh, well, we have to stop eating beef. We have to stop eating beef. Switch from beef, become vegetarian, and get rid of all of the stuff. And apparently it takes about 11 years for a vegetarian to offset the carbon footprint that they had when they were eating beef, which, oh well, I don't care. Beef is delicious. And the soy produced masquerading as beef is a lie and doesn't even taste proper whatsoever. I'm sorry, Beyond Burger, you haven't quite nailed the recipe just yet. You still got some work to do in the laboratory. But then other people are also saying it's time to eat the bugs, eat the locusts, save the world by eating the crickets. And now, in Europe, specifically, there's a few countries in Europe, I think it's Sweden and Finland, they are now replacing flour, I believe it's flour, with cricket powder. I didn't even realize that crickets had the same chemical efficiency as
Wheat?
flour.
It's
Wheat?
yeah.
Something? Is it wheat?
Yeah, it is wheat, and that surprises me too because, I mean, from an, I'm not an epidologist or epinologist or whatever that crap, but from an ecology, from a nature standpoint, because God knows I can't sell the word anyways, but, just saying, grasshoppers got to eat the grass, right? And grasshoppers got to eat the wheat, right? Okay? And if you have wheat and you get rid of the wheat, and you're going to run out of grasshoppers sooner than later. You're going to have another problem, okay? So I can't articulate it more beautifully than that. Because, wheat, I can understand the vegan element because, you've got, there is a balance. I mean, everything, there's a hierarchy of predators, and, the lions eat the pigs, and the pigs, poop on the ground, they fertilize the ground, and you have the grass that grows, and then the meerkats eat the grass. Everything kind of is all cyclical. That all works together. So when you start to make drastic changes like this, that firstly, I don't even know if they work with Home Ec 101, because the bonding agents that are actually in flour, that actually is in wheat, when you actually grind that crap down and you make flour, I don't necessarily know if that same agent is in a grasshopper or locust. Cricket. What? And yeah, crickets are darker, so you got to cook. Yeah, exactly. So
We got all sorts of bugs, ladies and gentlemen.
crickets are a different species altogether. So, but I will say this: I'm neither pro. What's the word? I'm not against vegan. I'm really not. I can understand, and the Seventh Day Adventists have it pretty convincing in my mind. It's just that I haven't really been able to be super. What's the word? I wouldn't say religious, but I haven't been able to enact these things. In my daily practice, just because it's a lot. Now, of course, we do organic quite a bit when we can. I know we push that quite a that's about know where your food comes from, eat in season. Don't try to be eating stuff that it's not supposed to grow this time of year. That's stupid. Figure it out. But the argument from the SDA is that from the Seventh-day Adventists, is that you don't necessarily know the problem or the disease that the animal had. But see, that argument alone kind of goes back to just eating organic. Because if you grow your own beef and meat, and you slaughter your own beef and meat, then everybody's kind of working on their. This is my own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like my own garden. But that was their first argument. You don't necessarily know, and so then, if you're eating a pig that may have cancer, you're eating whatever, they're like, well, this guy had cancer. We don't know how he got it, and so their first assumption was, well, you probably consumed that disease or that problem with the beef. You are what you eat, kind of thing. But I just don't see in my little mind, my little mind here, I don't see how it's even the case of the World Economic Forum's jurisdiction to be like, oh, we're going to pivot to climate change, unless they would say we're not going to fund projects. I don't even know what the World Economic Council does. I don't know how they've. I don't even know what are they? Are they just an advisory board, or do they actually give out grants? Like, what are they?
Not usually. The World Economic Forum is pretty much an area. So it's organized in Davos, Switzerland.
Okay.
So you have usually a bunch of world leaders, head CEOs, businessmen, all coming together.
What about business women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Pretty much the higher echelon of society, all coming together in their private jets, mind you, in their private jets, coming together to discuss
And hang on,
all sorts of world
for the
economic
uninitiated, what Neighborhood Nick here is saying, in their private jets, meaning they didn't fly commercial, meaning they all didn't come in one bus, so they saved on climate emissions. They all came in separate jets, which still output the same amount of emissions.
over 500 different private jets.
Which is in itself is insane if you're gonna take the climate platform anyways. Okay, back to you.
Now, this grant does help. I will admit, it helps Switzerland's economy out when this event happens every year.
It's just a giant conference, though. It's a big summit.
It's a massive summit conference. Yes.
And all they do is they just talk about what's going on. And
Yes, and their solutions for said problems that they believe are happening.
okay, so I think I'm kind of gathering what this is all about. So really, this is just a bunch of leaders, political folks. It's a summit. It's a summit of ideas. And then how do they enact these ideas, or do they share
No, they
these?
recommend these ideas to other governments, or they try to turn businesses to use these ideas.
So basically, whatever comes out of the summit is like, oh, this is what we think might be really awesome. Then this summit essentially sends out its recommendation, and then businesses can choose to or not to operate off of said recommendations.
Correct.
That's not too tragic. So really, the recommendation now is that we should eat crickets.
We should eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Don't fly. That was another thing they said.
Don't fly, even though we fly.
Yep. Only the really well off are allowed to fly.
That's a bummer. But here's another beef though too. No pun intended. I just don't think people are gonna buy it. I really don't. I feel like people that are super impassioned by what they stand for should continue to be impassioned. Should continue to learn and develop why they are all about what they're all about. But at the same time, they need to be able to be open to at least hearing the other side of the story and not necessarily demonizing that side. That's the only thing that's going to make this world a better place, is to be able to hear people's ideas without it being nutso. Yeah. Because, dude, they all can fly in, but we can't. I don't know. I kind of tired myself out on that one because I was like, dude, it just makes me pretty upset.
His happiness is gone, ladies and gentlemen. The hype is over.
The hype is over. I was really stoked about porn, and just not style. Economy just makes me upset.
And on that bombshell, ladies
What else
and
do you
gentlemen.
got, Neighborhood Nick?
Well, I believe we're at our hour.
What?
I believe so.
No,
I think so.
I can't see the screen. I got to use my phone to zoom in. And I was going to talk about stock picks.
Well, we may have to do a separate episode for stock picks, ladies and gentlemen.
Lame. No, we're good, dude.
Where are we at?
Only have 43 minutes, it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah. I tired you out. That's the problem.
Apparently.
That was the problem, Neighborhood Nick. I tired you out.
I had to break out
What
open a soda.
concerns me, though, is in the studio, I'm looking at this one ball hanging from the ceiling. I don't know why it keeps on. Yeah. So basically, we're set up in this like humdrum of a place, and there's some, I don't know, there's some decor behind the camera, and said
No, you don't get to see it.
no, and said decor is they're hanging orbs, and there's one orb that makes no sense, and it's just kind of swaying back and forth like there's a really massive breeze, and there's no breeze in here.
It's a ghost.
That's craziness. No, there's ghosts.
Could be.
So stock picks. Listen, folks. Have you guys? I don't know. Get on your trading hats. I tell you what, it is dividend city. Okay, and I don't know when it's gonna pop, but I just want to share some stuff with you guys. I still think there's some time to get on. Now, remember, this is not investment advice. Do your own due diligence. Remember, I eat crayons. That's how this goes. But really been loving the Zim Integrated Shipping Services. Okay, ZIM. That's the ticker. ZIM. I don't know what they do. I don't care. I just know they have a poppin' dividend that's coming up that may happen. And the thing is this, they're still on their low 3-month cycle as of today's recording. So you still have got at least some headroom in there for a nice 20%, 30% pop. They absolutely have
dividend?
No. I'm talking about just the growth in terms of their but their dividend is 120% yield. Yeah, it's nuts because what the company is doing,
I will have to be back.
the company
I don't believe this.
is trying to persuade people to purchase the stock to essentially make buyers. That's kind of what I think is going on. But, right now analysts have this puppy at pretty much a hold. Don't buy it. Some are trying to sell it. That's just my little take. And then another picker I really am digging is what is it? It's called XOS. Now I don't even know what these guys do. What do these guys do? XOS, they're really, really cheap right now. I mean, because you buy low, why not buy these cheap stocks? They are apparently some type of mobility company that does like electronic trucks out of Los Angeles. They've got a few employees, blah blah blah. But here's the deal. They've consistently pushed this they're always taking little steps towards gain action. For me, there's no dividend on this. So this is outplayed dividend action. But I do have calls on this bad boy expiring late this year. So there's no, I mean, it's got to be a win. It's got to be a win. Unless the thing just stays flat. That's just me, just saying. But going back to the last pick, the last dividend pick here, we've got National Cinema Media Inc. Now, these guys have paused the release of their dividends right now. But what's nice about this is it's such a low buy for your share price that you'd be foolish not to put it in your portfolio just to give it a shot. It's only like $1 a share right now. 50 cents a share. No, 30 cents a share. That's an NCMI. Okay, that's the NCMI. Once they resume their dividend, you're still pushing about a 50% yield. So, dude, you could do yourself a favor, buy 500 shares, see what happens, right? I mean, if it's all bad, then dump it. Remember, again, this is not financial advice. Do your own homework, do what's going on. This is just what I'm talking about, and this is what I'm doing right now in my game. Because, it's been consistently pushing down, but think about it. We lost a lot of room with COVID. We lost a lot of room with people going to traditional outlets for the movie theaters and so on. But these guys, if you take a look at their prospectus, they're pushing hard. They're going to try to give it a shot. And they've got some new plans for pushing their product in front of the consumer for the 2023, the 2024, annual fiscal years. Will that do something better for revenue? I don't know. But I'm sure it can't hurt their share price. Because even if you get a little pop now, say at 29 cents a share, right? You get a little pop, say you push a 30%, maybe even, you could even push you could push a 30% pop right there. and get that puppy up to say $3. So if you bought, again, 1,000 shares, okay, right? You're still looking at, quite frankly, a nice $2,900, $2,800 win. It's not a bad deal. That is National Cinemedia NCMI. Again, I want to recap this. None of this financial advice is just little things I'm doing. We'll go through some more stock picks later in life, but those are the three I want you to give a shot. I'm super excited about them. I think everybody should at least take a little into it, because here's the deal. You got to control your destiny. You got to control your life. You got to be able to take care of the bull by the horns, because heaven knows no one's going to do it for you. And then lastly, buy some gold or silver, Gold, guns, and silver. Oh, no, gas masks.
Just
Sorry.
gas.
Gold
Gas.
gold, guns, and gas masks.
No, just gas.
No, gas masks.
Just gas.
No, you don't.
Petroleum products.
Did you know that plastic is a petroleum product? No one ever talks about that. All this plastic tray for these ridiculous cookies, the plastic mics, the plastic bezel on this laptop, all this crap had to be made with petroleum products.
Yep.
No one talks about that. Like, oh, fossil fuels. I'm like, it's plastic. Everything's plastic. You can actually blame Monsanto.
It's all Santa's fault.
Well, no, Monsanto, not Santa. Are you kidding me? That fat man.
I mean, you're dressed like him, so.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cheap dig. This is nice, man. This is probably what Santa would wear if he was, he wishes he was wearing this. Are you kidding me?
Ho, ho.
He'd be like, hey, ladies, ho, ho, come on down to the sleigh shop. I want to show you a little candy cane. Anyways, so the thing, I don't even, this is a family-friendly show. There's nothing wrong with what I just said. And if you took offense to it, listen to me. I want you to personally write me a letter as to why. Lay it out in only 3 bullet points, okay? I want to have it notarized that you're a real freaking person, okay? And then you can mail it to 222 Twain Street, okay? In Judson, Indiana. Anyways, so 22 Twain, like Mark Twain, is 22 Twain.
Yeah.
Woo woo. Anyways, so
Okay, Santa. Keep going.
right, I don't even know what we're talking about. I was there was a point that I was trying to make that was sounding somewhat correct, and then but I don't care. I'm going to change gears. Trying this new mixer, too. This is the Mackie Pro FX6. We bought this little puppy to replace some of the rental stuff we have on our General AV, because we don't do this for a living. And we have these, had the Mackie Mix 8s, which were, they're great General AV kits. We got them all in a bag. Actually, well, I'm not going to get up because I'm lazy. But we got these really cool bags. We make sure they're all packed with spike tape, Sharpie, aux cable, and the power and all the jazz. So when you send them out on a rental, right, they have everything they need, everything they could possibly need. And the new thing that we've been doing with these for our customers and clients, we give them the Apple dongle, because everybody wants to plug their phone into the system, right? They want to hear music, but everyone's got these new iPhones that need the dongle. So we give them the dongle too. Boom, done.
Stop buying Apple products.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother tangent. But check this out. So what we do is, then we send that out, and then basically they've got the two, QSC K10. We use the QSC K10.2s and the 8.2s. I like the 8.2s. I really, really do. I want to like them more, but they don't have as much headroom as I thought they would have. But they're perfect for small corporate events. I tell you one thing.
That's true.
I tell you one thing I don't like: the JBL IRX8 BT. The JBL, no, that. Unfortunately, I don't know what I don't know what JBL was doing with this particular speaker, because we have them, and I don't necessarily want to dump them. But at the same time, but at the same time, I don't want to use them.
They're terrible. The sound quality is horrible.
It's unnervingly like how bad it is.
It's cool that it's Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth, and it's a lightweight speaker.
It can travel very nicely.
It
very
looks
easy to set up.
They look
Not
okay.
a massive power drain.
But I really feel like that speaker is the main reason why one of the venues we've worked at has had such a poor experience sound quality wise.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we use the QSCs, or even like a different JBL, which had a better high frequency driver, it pierced through the nasty acoustics of that room.
I bet.
So I don't know. I would say if you're looking at buying that, I mean, this is just a free one out there. The show wasn't about that, but the JBL IRX series, I'm not impressed with, and I think that anybody who's considering it should honestly, and this is just a pro tip, dump the JBL, put the money into an Alto. I kid you not. If you're and here's the reason why.
Love Alto.
Alto came out with the new 4 Series. Now we haven't purchased these yet because it's like, there's so much to buy in life. But I will be purchasing a pair of the Alto 412s, TS 412s, because what they do is the same thing that the IRX has done, okay? But it is a 12-inch driver on the low frequency, which is better. That's fine. So you can use it kind of as a wedge. And that's good because if it has the same level of power and reliability as the other TS series, then you could use it as a wedge for your keys,
Yep.
DJ
see that.
wedge,
Yep.
and it has the Bluetooth capability. The only thing that I will say is that I'm sure they haven't replaced the drivers on the high frequency side. And once the high frequency drivers start to blow, they just blow all the time. I don't know what has happened.
Gone through a lot of them.
The cabs eat drivers like candy. I don't. And I always know when it's going to happen too. They were doing a gig, and there was a generator. There was power failure in the pop. Poop. Those certain levels. There's no compression apparently. There's no protection on these Altos. So when you get to a certain level of wear, or you're pushing it to a certain level of warmth, overpowering the speaker, they will start to fail, and they'll start to fail pretty badly. But on the flip, I really do think that it comes down to just how you use the speaker, because we used the Altos as monitor wedges at a Psychobilly concert. Yeah, go figure. Psychobilly, right? And I thought for sure those wedges were going to be busted. We tested every single one of them out, flawless. Sent those same Altos out on a rental to an Afro-Latino night type event. They came back smelling fried. Like you could put your nose up to the grill and you could smell the ozone.
They went hot.
And they operated fine, but after that rental, they started to fail. So it made me think, okay, then unfortunately, if you have to kind of divide for yourself what you're going to use, the Alto speakers would be a good cab to use in-house or to use on production for professionals who know how to use the speakers. Don't take this the wrong way out there, but for like DJs who are just like, oh, I've got my controller, I'm gonna plug my controller into my speakers and have a show. You probably don't want the Altos, because I don't know if they've fixed the driver protection aspect on those speakers themselves. So pro tip, don't buy the IRX, don't buy the Altos, save your money, buy some QSCs, or buy the PRXs. The PRX 812, I saw those actually on eBay from Audio Savings for $600 a pop, free shipping.
Not bad.
That's a killer price because they're putting out the 9s now. The 9 series are out. But I was like, oh man, I want to swoop some of those too, because the 12s are kind of like that happy medium, that wedge that everybody loves. The only thing that pissed me off about the JBL PRX series now is that when they added the Bluetooth connectivity, that was only for tuning the speakers' EQ parameters. There's no I mean, correct me if I'm wrong out there. You guys can tell me yes or no. But the Eons and the PRXs, both the Bluetooth function on those speakers are not designed to stream music. It's designed to just control the dynamics of the speaker, which is dumb. I mean, I know people geek out and they love that, but that's dumb. So, personal opinion, I know. But long story short, I think that if you're in the neighborhood for it, last one I'll recommend is the RCF. RCF. What are those? They're the new 15s that came out with. I want to say they're A something, or the Art speakers. They might be the Art 9s. No, stage monitors. I'll have to look that part up. But I would seriously, I think it's the HDL 12A. I would really consider you guys, implore you all to try that, to look at those, because RCFM, what was it, A12? H12A? Let me look. Yes, those are them. Those look sexy. And again, any RCF product. I was kind of pissed that QSC made a subpar product. It wasn't their K series. It was like the Q passive. And I was like, oh man, because that's everybody's they're trying to, broaden their market. But they mislead a consumer by thinking, oh, it's JBL, it's Bose, it's got to be great. Well,
Not always.
not always. The only thing I like about RCF in this particular build is that they have continued with how the Art series was. They have put nothing extra on these speakers.
That's wonderful.
It's just, they don't even have a secondary input on this.
Oh.
It's one input in, you set it, there's a toggle for a dip switch. What are you setting it for? And that's it. Like this speaker here is a true PA speaker, a powered PA speaker, and it's quality all the way. $749 on RCA on SoundPro.com. I would say if you're a DJ out there and you want that sound, I'm just gonna plug my controller from my controller here to my speakers. I'm not knocking that.
You
I'm
know
just saying,
who you are.
if that's how you want to roll, I think your best money spent would be with the RCF. At least give it a listen. RCF for, those three. RCF HD12, QSC K10. The 12s are a little harsh. I would steer clear of the, this is personal opinion, the K12, the 12.2s. They just sound so harsh around that mid-range. So then I'd go with the JBL PRX 812, 815 if you want to break your back, just because they're big.
They do get heavy, ladies and gentlemen.
812s, yeah, 812s, and pair that up with a nice sub. Do either the RCFA or the JBL, again, PRX.
Now, if you know what you're doing, though, the Alto.
No, again, but I mean, I'm just talking about
You
for
need
that,
to know what you're doing.
for that person who's like just pushing it out of their console. No protection, no EQ or dynamic control. Just do that. But that's kind of what's cracking on the music scene. It's kind of like we should do a segment, one of these, like what's in our warehouse kind of thing. That might be fun. But
Would you guys like product reviews in the future?
speak up, son.
That could be interesting.
Get in your mic. What are you saying?
Check 1, 2.
There you go. Yeah.
Hello.
You talk
My
so-
name is Neighborhood Nick.
No, so ask a question. It's true. We could do reviews. We could do more reviews. Talk about like what's in the warehouse.
If there's people who are interested in learning what we use on a day in, day out basis kind of a thing, I think that could be interesting.
I think it could be too.
Because we have some shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. Things that should not have worked, but they work. Solutions to problems you didn't even know could possibly exist.
That's right.
Like sending things to the wrong events and still having a great show.
Oh yeah, we'll have to save that for the next show.
I think so.
That
It's
was
a great story. Catastrophe avoided.
It's a great story of
Ingenuity. Persistence.
stress, and it's rags to riches.
Well, not so much riches.
No,
No.
we lost our butts.
But the show went on.
We lost our shirts.
That's why he has to wear this.
I know. It's you. Shut up, you. Well, hey, the good news is, after all those shenanigans, I do believe we have unfortunately wasted another good time.
Has it been an hour, Banjo Bob?
That's funny. I made this post September 18th of 2022
September 18th, ladies and gentlemen.
on Twitter, and someone just liked it. And I said, I was calling out McDonald's. I said, hey, get these signs at all of your restaurants. When they're lit, ice cream's up. When they're not, the ice cream machine is broken. Hashtag problem solving. Hashtag pro tip. Hashtag Sunday Sundays. And the picture was an ice cream sign because at the time I must have been extremely upset that McDonald's didn't have ice cream. Yeah, I'm just, McDonald's does have some pretty good little ice cream.
when the machine works.
And it's not even ice cream. We all know it because here's the deal. Real ice cream makes your head freeze. Their stuff you can smash down in under 2 minutes and you're still fine. So what's that all about? Tell me about that conspiracy. That's another thing we talk. Well, again, actually, I'm going to add that to our list because I do have a running podcast list that we didn't even use today.
Ooh, ladies and
I know.
gentlemen. Today was more of that spontaneous, modern time, in-our-face controversies, conspiracies, and, well, we did get some tech advice today, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you...
I wouldn't call it tech advice. I'd call it more like live sound advice, but
That's the same thing.
cabs we like.
That's the same thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Soundguys Podcast. We apologize once again that we weren't
What
able
were
to
we going
get
to talk
things
about next
going.
time? Ice cream. Ice cream.
Yes, ice cream.
Not being ice cream. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the ice cream machine controversies.
Yeah, I had this one here. This we need to talk about this. Who the hell uses AOL.com as an email address?
Ooh, I know some people.
Yeah, exactly. So whoever's using AOL.com, there's like 1,000 of you out there. We got to talk about your personality.
And we'll figure that out on the next episode of the Sound Guys Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on YouTube so you never miss a future episode of the Sound Guys Podcast. And if you're listening to this on Apple or maybe Spotify or Castbox, wherever you get your podcasts, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a review on Apple Podcasts that we get to see, that we can read, that we get to know a little bit more about what you want this show to become, and help us move up in the algorithm, frankly, because at the end of the day, we're always looking for new audience members who can join us in this journey around the world, tech, controversies,
It's not that epic.
conspiracies. Oh, it's epic, all right.
It's not that epic, neighborhood Nick.
We're trying to fill in the gaps of people's minds.
Are you?
Well, at least when they're bored.
That's pretty much all we need to do.
That's true.
We're just your daily dose of background noise. Let's just call it what it is.
Exactly. We're helping you problem solve throughout your day also.
Yeah, man. Think about that. We're giving you guys the real tips and tricks that you need to succeed. Gosh, I hate it when you do that. You sip, you drink. This is not a lick of formal radio like training.
I wasn't trained on radio. I wasn't.
I have a face for one though.
You dress like one, so.
Listen, man, you are just so jelly of this awesome shirt. That's the problem. You love what you see. You wish you had this shirt. And, Neighborhood Nick, I've got one more in wardrobe for you right down there. Next episode, you can count on it.
All right, ladies and
I've got
gentlemen.
a nice Christmassy green one, farmer shirt.
And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say goodbye. I am the Neighborhood Nick, joined by...
I'm Banjo Bob.
And we'll see you next time.
Good night. I like that whisper.
I can't hear it. We're done. We're done.
It's ASMR.
Hit the stop button before this gets out of hand.
Like, subscribe.
I'm just turning you down now. Hit that.